Welcome to case study video number 11, the Pano problem movement. Now, this series of Pano images, 11 of them, was taken on the west coast of Cornwall during the summer. And we can see that each exposure was only 0.5 of a second, and I was banging across here fairly quickly. And you will definitely see that these areas, definitely on the foreshore, look like there's no way on earth that they're actually going to blend. That frame in particular is so different from this one and this one, the way the surf is on the beach. And in olden days, that's certainly the case, that we would have had real problems with here. This is a good illustration of what can be done these days with contemporary software. I am going to do some fairly straightforward things here. You'll see that I actually used a graduated neutral density filter here in an attempt to take this image in one frame. I was doing a lot of experimentation in preparation for this book just to see how far you could push single frame photography, multiple frame photography, and I took this sunset over this cove using grads, using bracketed images, using long exposures and short exposures, just to see what we could do. So what I am just going to do here is use a filter, a fairly diffused filter, to where that grad was and open up those shadows just a wee bit, and then I can synchronize that across the board, and we're just going to brighten that sky a little bit, and it's going to get rid of the worst of that grad line. It's not perfect, but it's better than it was for sure. Now, that's all I'm going to do with these frames. It's going to take a while, so we'll go through our merged panorama in Photoshop, and I will pause the video here and pick it up when we have created the pano in Photoshop, and we can move on from there. And here we can pick up the final panorama. I've already flattened it here. It can take quite a while to produce panos of this size, purely because it's a big ask for all your computer. Even a powerful computer can take quite a few minutes. Now, we look at this shoreline, and what had come across as just an extremely chaotic series of images has actually managed to stitch itself together into something that's remarkably coherent and certainly doesn't look out of place. So it just goes to show that with contemporary panorama software, we can now create panoramic images in scenarios with moving subjects that allow the computer to create something that's really quite seamless. Now, we'll see here, because I used a dedicated panoramic head, these images have stitched together really well. We're not noticing that curvature around the top of the frame that we did in previous frames. I am just going to do a little bit more extra work with this. I'm going to level the horizon just in case it's not level. We can use the ruler tool here and the simple command of image rotation arbitrary. 0.32% or 0.32 degrees is not a massive problem. And let's just bring in the crop tool and pull down and up and left and right to find our areas of uncorrupted sight of panorama. And there we have it. And in real terms, I'm relatively pleased with that image. I would say that has produced a pano that, under the circumstances, I certainly didn't expect to get, one that has this level of detail in it. And if we start thinking about the dimensions of this file, we are now at 15,500 pixels, and even at 300 dpi, we have a 51-inch file there, and that could be printed, I'm sure, up to 1.5 meters without any problem. Again, not a finished image. We'd have quite a lot of work to do to make this look its best, but for now we'll close video case study number 11 with the happy news that you can do an awful lot more with Photoshop these days than you could a few years ago, even with moving subjects.